Hey, what's up, everybody? Looking at the price of ADA right now. By the way, I put a video out. It was a members video. If you want to go check it out, it's free. So definitely jump to it and let me know what you think. And if you like the video, you can sign up to be a member. And basically, I put a free video out because I want people to know exactly what it is we're discussing. And no surprise, it's crypto, right? All right, let's look at the price of ADA. We have three down, we got three up, and we got three back down. So that looks like a W, X, and a Y. This looks like an impulse to the upside. And now it looks like we're correcting here. So to me, I'm thinking, well, I have to assume it's a wave one and we're in a wave two. And let's see if we can get a wave three later on. So in order to figure that out, we have to look at this right here. So if we look at that on the smaller time frame, it's not entirely clear yet, although we kind of can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like you got an A. Maybe this is coming up, hitting the top, and then you get a B. It could break the top, it could be a flat, right? But essentially an A, and then we come down for a C. So A, B, C, right? We can get something a little bit more complex versus seeing something like, um, you know, a simple ABC, A, B, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. So A, B, C. All right. And this is some kind of diag, which is a wave one. And now we're flagging out for a wave two. And we should get that third wave sooner rather than later. So again, three waves down, breaking the low, going, or ABC, 1, 2, and let's go now. So that's kind of what it looks like from this perspective, right? Let's talk alternative ideas from this wave. Let's go to the 1 hour, and you can see we have three down, right? Actually, let's zoom out a little bit more here. Okay, there we go. So we have 1, 2, 3 waves down, right? So this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we have three down, we get three back up, and then maybe we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, or even three down. It could be a WXY or an ABC, but then we continue higher, right? So something more complex, right? Now, you could say, well, if that's the idea, then how can we measure it? Where could we expect it to go? Well, if we take a trend based fib extension from the top of this wave down to the bottom of the W, pull it up to wave X, right? Or actually, let me do it this way. So I would rather wait for the B wave to finish to measure it, but let's say it comes up here, right? We come down, let's take it from here, and then we go back to here. Well, that would be about 47 cents, right? If it's finished now. If it's not finished now, right, then maybe it comes up a little bit higher, doing some kind of three-wave move, right? And if that's the case, then instead of 47 cents, you're looking at about maybe 49 cents. So you want to see like a one-to-one extension. It could go a little bit lower if it's going to be, a much more severe pullback. But that would be your first target would be the one-to-one. Then you would look for the 1618. But if it is a 1618, typically it's going to take a little bit longer. So, but right now, I mean, let's zoom out a little bit more. We can see really we have like a 1-2, right? This to me looks like a wave 3. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, right? And then now we're flagging out for a wave 3. And then let's go, or a wave 4, and let's go get a wave 5. So that's kind of how I'm thinking here. And if we measure that, what could be the target for ADA? Well, if the correction's finished, then I would do this. You're looking at about $1.07 for ADA. So for a fifth wave, for a minimum fifth wave target, now it could go a lot higher. That's their first target, right? You got $2.40 or 130 to say 240, and then you got somewhere around $1.75 up to $2, honestly. But if we have a little bit of a steeper pullback, we could always adjust it. And depending where you go, like we had that fib at what, 47 cents. So if we did pull back, for example, A, B, C, right, down to that 47-cent area, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around these areas here, between $1 and $1.30 for ADA. So that's what I'm thinking, between $1 and $1.30 for the price of ADA. And I'm just using ADA as an example, right? Because a lot of them are pretty much similar, although ADA has broken out a lot more. Now let's take a look at the price of, let's take a look at Theta. And then we'll take a look at Bitcoin. And we'll go from there. Okay, so in regards to Theta, right, if I take a trend-based fib extension from the bottom here to the top, back down to the bottom, you can see we pretty much nailed the one-to-one extension, right? And we were talking about that being 3 up, right? We get 3 down, and then we get 5 up. So it's not clear if 5 is finished. We just kind of have one wave so far. I mean, obviously we have 5 waves on the micro, but on this time frame we don't. But when you look at it from this perspective, you have a liquidity grab. You have a Wyckoff accumulation setup. So we're probably going to consolidate a little bit and then eventually move our way up to about $2, 205, between 190 and say 205, right? So I've talked about the 190 target for a while. And that's the next stop for Theta. So looking forward to $1.90 to $2. But so how can we get there? How long is it going to take? Well, let's zoom in and see if we can find anything. So far, I just have 3 waves. I got a 1, I got a 2, I got a 3, right? So I'm looking at this as a wave 4. And wave 4 has to be in the same degree as wave 2, right? It can't be too big or too small, right? It's got to be in the realm of the same. So if we take a look at, I don't really use trend-based time too much. It's not, but if I take a trend-based time, right, we're looking at the time, and I'm taking it here, and then I want to put it back at the top, right? And if we look at where we reversed, if this is the low, we reversed right in the 1618. So this should be, the amount of time needed for this correction to be finished. You know what I mean? So you don't really want any further than that. So this took about 2 days. And this took about 2 days. So look at that. So there you go. I mean, it's in the same degree. So it's less likely that this is going to be 3 up, right? And then, or 3 down, and then you get 3 up, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, or 3 down, right? So A, B, C, something more complex that takes you down here, and then you go. It's possible, it's very possible, but it's not very probable because of the time. If this is going to be a wave 5, now it might not be, right? It might just be what? It might just be an A, B, C, and then we still have more down to go, right? But I don't think so, because Bitcoin's in price discovery. Why would alts just break the low unless, Bitcoin dominance is still going up, which it is, and unless, as Bitcoin continues to rocket to the upside, like let's say it's at 90K right now, and then we decide to go down to 85K. Well, that's a $5,000 drop. If the altcoins are fragile, they could have a big drop. You know what I mean? So how would we look at that? Well, I would have to assume that this is 5 waves, and we can sort of look at it like that. I can say that, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or I could say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, there's different ways you can count it, but it's not the way I like it, right? That's why I'm thinking this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, but if Bitcoin, remember, Bitcoin is on a daily 9, it's on a 4-day 9, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you gotta watch the video I put out, and it'll make a lot of sense. So there could be a little bit of a pause period, but usually, altcoins can start to pop off, during a pause period for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is consolidating, in a bull market, then, people get bored with it, and then they rotate into altcoins, and then they start popping off. You know what I mean? Or it depends on what state the altcoins are. Are they in a fragile state? Are they in a risk on state? Right? And we could see Dogecoin, we could see ADA. I mean, they look like they're in a pretty risk on state. So that gives confluence, to other altcoin potentially that they're doing the same, right? So, but if it is a fragile state, I would simply just take a retracement from here to here, and I would say, you know what? If we break below $1.19, it's not the risk, or the upside potential starts getting more and more small, right? So let's definitely stay above the 702. So if we look at the current time right here, okay, so we have what? Sort of a 3-way pullback, right? So this could be a 3-way pullback. Boom, it's finished. And just like with ADA, we have a wave 1, maybe we get a wave 2, and then we go up for a wave 3, 4, and 5, right? So we have to see what happens down here, right? If we, for example, come up, tag the low, and then start coming back down, then again, it's going to be complex, right? 3 down, 3 up, right? 3 back down, or 5 back down. You see what I mean? So we have to wait and see how this is going to react in the retracement levels, right? So it can, so that's really the reality of it. It's going to be either that or the other. So it's just about watching and waiting to see exactly how she's responding. So for example, if this is a 1-2, right? Like we have a little ABC and we start to go up. Do we go up impulsively, right? And if we do we, have a 1618 extension? So from the bottom to the top, back down to the bottom, right? Fibonacci, if around the 618. So if we just take it, well, I really don't have the bottom yet, but if I did, so for example, from here to there, and then let's say we come back down to here. All right, so then I'm looking at 1, 2, and then 3. If I can get to here, it's going to look more like an impulse. If I get to the 1-to-1 extension, it's going to look more like a 3-way move, right? But it could also be a flat. But we have to, if it's a flat, it's going to keep going, or it's going to either break the top and reverse or reverse there. But here's the trick. If this is going to break out, we want 5 waves, obviously. So when we get up here, what do we do then? Do we flag out in here? A, B, C? If we do that, then I'm expecting upside. But if we get up here and we reverse hard and we start to come back down correctively, I'm going to look at it more like either a flat or some type of, A, B, C, a bigger one. So that's really what it comes down to. So you can see we're getting a little bit of a pump right now. Right? So let's see if this can be a 1-2, and let's push our way out of here. That's what I want to see. Right? Otherwise, you're going to get something like this. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Before we can try again. So that's that's theta. Let's look at, somebody talked about QNT, and I will get to that the next video. I just haven't really done my homework on it as far as what the comment was asking. It's more of a specific question, so I'm going to have to look at it a little bit, and I will get back to you on that, but I will. I guess let's look at XRP. So, okay. Oh, yeah. See, there we go. So last time I spoke, we were right here. And that's when I started the video. I said, there's 2 things going to happen. Either number 1, we're going to break out right now. Or number 2, this is going to be an A, B, and a C, and then we break out. Okay? But here's the thing. It can also be a running flat, right? So if you look at it from a running flat perspective, we have an A, we have a B, and then we need a C right here. So let's see, do we have a C? We kind of do. Look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that could be our C, and that could be a 1, that could be a 2. So maybe we're in the middle of the third. So let me draw it out for us here. So let's just zoom out and see where we're at, right? Remember, we broke out of this flag that we've been in this flag for a while. I've been talking about it over and over, saying what it is. And what it is a 1, 2, 1, 2, or what it is a wave 1, and then we have a wave 2, and this is 3 down, 3 up, 3 back down. So W, X, Y, right? And that's your 2 right there. So this is your 1, and that would be your 2. But either way, if it's a 1, 2, 1, 2 or a 1, 2, it doesn't really matter. We're looking for higher prices. So as I look at this, I don't think it's finished. I think we got more to go because it looks like we have a 1, 2, and this looks like a 3. So we need a 4, and then we need a 5. But I'm not even sure if the third is finished yet. That's the thing. We might still need another hit to the high. So it could be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And this whole thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is wave 3. 1, 2, all of that's 3. Then we get 4. Then we get 5 later. But first we go higher. And if we go higher, then let's zoom in and let's look right at the 30-minute. Here we go. So this could be either a flat, a running flat, and this is a 1, 2, and we're going to start creeping up, and then break out. Simple as that. Right? Or what we have is maybe it's not finished yet, right? We have 3 down, maybe we get 3 up, and this is 1, 2, and 3. We still need 3. So maybe we get back down here, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, W, X, Y. There's your 3-wave move, and now we go up. So I think this one's a little bit more conservative, obviously. Which one's exactly going to be? Well, we have to really pay attention what happens here. If we start moving down, then yeah, let's be ready here, right? It could go even a little bit further and take out this liquidity before going up. It could be an expanded flat, right? So that's pretty much it. Let's look at SHIB real quick. Again, with SHIB, we have 3 waves to the downside. And we have an impulse. We have a 3-wave pullback. And maybe this is a 1, 2. And now we're about to go up into a wave 3. I mean, it's got the look. That doesn't mean it's what it is. What we also can say is this is 3 down. This is 1, 2, 3 up. And then maybe we get 3 down later and then go. So it's a larger move, right? So again, that's what we should look for. Now that we know what to look for, that's what we should look for. And yeah, just follow the price and see exactly, and then position yourself accordingly, right? Nothing is financial advice. This could go to 0 and you can lose all your money. It's just, so, you know what I mean? But obviously you guys understand, at least I would assume most of you. So, be always conservative, but also don't be afraid to take risk, especially when Bitcoin is in price discovery, right? This is the time to be, getting in, right? I mean, obviously we moved up quite a bit. The time to get in was a little bit sooner, but now, if we're blessed with a pullback, for example, this pullback came all the way down 24%. So that was a 24% dip in a Bitcoin price discovery mode. So to me, that 20%, hey, that's a buy for me all day long, right? If something goes down 20% and we don't dollar cost average, I can tell you if it's in a bear market, it's different, right? Even, you know what I mean? So, but since Bitcoin is in new all-time highs and it's jamming, right? And it's healthy, it's a very healthy horse, right? I mean, it gives more probability to the alts, right? And when the alts move up, look how much the alts moved up, right? Look, this is SHIB. We went up 87%, right? In about a week, right? So we went up, let's just say 90% in a week. I mean, that's a lot, right? And then you get a 20% dip. I mean, you know what I mean? So to me, it's a good deal. I don't know. Let's take a look at NEAR real quick. See, NEAR looks a little bit more bearish. See how NEAR is? NEAR definitely looks different. It looks definitely more bearish. I mean, you know what I mean? You're teetering on support. That's why. Look at, you come down, support, you come up, support, come back up, come back down to support. So to me, this is an A, this is a B, right? This right here is your B wave. A, and now this looks like we're going down for a C right here. A, B, C. I mean, that's what it looks like. And then we go. So, you got to be a little bit careful here. And the reason why I think NIR's more bearish than the other ones, well, you can't really say for SHIB, but NIR went up quite a bit. I mean, this thing went up, let's see, let's measure this. It went up about 63%, right? Obviously, SHIB did a lot better, but NIR is in a different structure than SHIB. For example, if we look at Theta, let's see, how high did Theta go up? I think it was actually more than 60%. Yeah, it was about the same. So right around there. That's still really, really good. But, okay, so, it's same thing with Theta, right? We have 3 up, we have 3 down, support, 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 liquidity grab, and now we're going up. Looks like a 1, 2, 3, and now it looks like we're flagging out for a 4. We probably might play around a little bit. There's just your top of your Wyckoff range. This is the bottom. Let's break out as soon as this done correcting, right? So at the end of the day, so if we're looking at, something a little bit bigger of a correction instead of, obviously an ABC, but, this thing can come back down to around, maybe 50% to the 618. I mean, that's where I like it to be. So between 436 and 462 for NIR. So right around here. That's kind of where I like it. And if we can get there, that would be a really good buy the dip, right? So, altcoins can correct 20%, but they can also correct, 50%, you know what I mean? And still be very bullish. But again, it's all about the DCA type of strategy. And definitely look out for that in a member's video. But for me, you just need a little bit more data because I want to see what happens in here. When something doesn't look right, it means it's not finished yet. We got to wait and see how this finishes. And then we can assess a little better because right now, we have a lot of support right here. We broke above all of this, and now we have, let me just put this right here. We have all of that to be, counted on as support, right? So you have this zone right in here. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I need the price to be. I don't want it to fall below that. So anywhere in this zone, for me, that's a good opportunity. So anyways, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Because why? Because when you zoom out, we want to see this continue to break out. Why? Because you are flagging out. You have an impulse. You're flagging out. And eventually you want to break out. And that's what I believe is going to happen. NIR is a little bit more dangerous too because you're in the middle of the retracement levels. Point A, point B, point C. So you can see the triangulation, right? We're right in the middle here. This is what all the energy, this is energy, this is energy. You're directing the energy, right? Look at that. Looks like a UFO, right? So anyways, there's a lot of energy right there. So, so based off the wave structure, that's what gives us the edge. And for me, the wave structure is pointing to the upside. But what if it's not? Well, then if it's not, then what it is a rise, crash, retrace, and we got to go into reaccumulation before we break out, which would be terrible, which doesn't make sense for the Bitcoin bull run. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it plays, but we definitely need more information. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.